How you doing there? Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Tes, kind of Masechta Sanhedrin, friends. We're studying Daf Tes, technically, but we've already done most of it. So we're going to start on Daf Tes Amud Beis, halfway through the Amud. And we're going to get till about halfway through Daf Yud Amud Aleph, and then things are going to normalize. And we'll get back to doing normal, kind of the daf that we're supposed to be doing. But alright. Interesting stuff today. We discussed the concept of Palginon Dibura. Oops, forgot to get the backup recording going. I feel like I've been forgetting recently. Okay. The backup recording is now recording. Alright. Okay, we're going to get into the concept of Palginon Dibura, which is an interesting concept. Of selectively applying testimony that will apply in this context, but not in that context. So that's an interesting concept. Azoy. Okay, we're going to start on Daf Tes Amud Beis, about halfway through the Amud. Amr of Yosef, you got it? Good. Says of Yosef, Hevi Abal Eidim Shizinsa. Okay, so still talking about Motzi Shemra, that a husband says about his wife, Lo Motzasi Levitcha Besulam, right? He says to his father-in-law that my wife is not a Besula, therefore, we have a Ksuba for 200. Well, okay, we have a Ksuba for 200 zuzas, but really she should only be 100 zuzas. But if he brings witnesses that she was Mizana after Erisin, well, then it's a case of Skila. Okay? So now, Rav Yosef says of Yosef, Hevi Abal Eidim Shezinsa. So if the husband brings witnesses that she was Mizana after Erisin, so those witnesses are going to be Mechayiv her Misa, of Eidim Vizimum, but then the Shver, the father-in-law, brings his own he brings witnesses who says, wait, the husband's witnesses are liars because you were with us the day that you allegedly witnessed this crime. You were with us in a different place at that time. So Vizimum Le'edi Abal, so Edi Abal Ne'erogin, so the husband's witnesses are killed because they tried to kill the wife by saying that she was Mizana after Erisin. They were Eidim Zomim, so they're killed instead. Vein Mishalman Momin, and they don't pay any money. Wait, one second. Vein Mishalman Momin, Avbishayim Afsidin Osa Ksuba. Mishalman Tosan Osa Ksubasa, Kedin Shai Zomim Ksuba. Okay. Okay, because of Kamlev Derabmine. Okay. Okay. Wait one second. Yeah. Okay, one second. And wait one second. Okay. Maybe we should Me'asela. Yeah, what up Me'asela? Right, exactly. Okay. All right. So there's basically two payments over here. One is that the husband's witnesses were going to be Mechayiv her Skila, and then also she, of course, was going to lose her Ksuba by being killed. So when the husband's witnesses turn out to be Eidim Zomimin, okay, so they were trying to be Mechayiv her Skila, so they're going to be killed for that. But now there's additional financial payments that they were also liable for. For example, when they're proved. Wait one second. So where am I? Wait, where the heck am I? I'm starting from the beginning. I'm confusing myself. Amr of Yosef, Hevi Abal Eidim Shizinsa. Okay, so the husband brought witnesses that she was Mizana, so they're going to be Mechayiv for Misa. Fine. Hevi Ab Eidim Vizimum Le'edi Abal. Okay, so now the husband brings, now the father-in-law brings witnesses, and are Mazim the husband's witnesses. So Eidi Abal Ne'erogin ve'im Mishalman Mammon. So the Eidi Abal are killed because they were going to be Mechayiv her Skila. Now, what about the fact that they were also going to make her lose out on her Ksuba? But she's dead. She's obviously not going to be able to ever collect her Ksuba. They do not need to pay that because of Kamle B'derabba Mine, right? Since in their testimony they were Mechayiv two things. They were Mechayiv Skila, as well as the fact that she's losing her Ksuba. So they get Kamle B'derabba Mine, they get Skila, but they don't have to pay for the potential loss of the Ksuba, right? Meaning, because it could be that she would have died first anyways, in which case she would never have collected it, right? It would be tova sanos, ksuba, whatever. Anyways, okay, sorry, it's a little choppy. But anyways, yes, the husband's witnesses are chayiv skila, but they don't need to pay for the loss of the ksuba because of kalmei b'dir avmineh, that they get the more stringent death. Now, they get the more stringent punishment, which is skila, which is death. Chazor ve'evi habal edim vizum le'edei ha'ov. Now, if the husband then brought witnesses who made the father-in-law's witnesses edim zomimim, yeah, this is where Edom Zomim gets tricky. Okay, so what's the scenario now? The scenario is that the husband brought witnesses who says that that the wife was mizan. Therefore, those witnesses are machayev her skila, and also to lose her ksuba. Now, the father-in-law brings witnesses who make the husband's witnesses Edom Zomim. So now they are killed because they tried to kill her. They don't need to pay for the ksuba because of kamlei b'dir avmineh, but they are killed because they tried to kill her, so we kill them. But then the husband brings witnesses who makes the father's witnesses Edom Zomim. So now the father's witnesses, we're going to be mechayev the husband's first witnesses skila, right? But they also, by proving the husband wrong, the father's witnesses, the father-in-law's witnesses was going to be mechayev the husband's witnesses skila, so they have to be killed for that. But in addition, by the father-in-law's witnesses proving wrong the husband, essentially, by saying that his witnesses are liars, well, now the husband has to pay the father-in-law 100 selas. So there's two separate things going on here. They're chayiv skila because the father-in-law's witnesses are chayiv skila because they tried to kill the husband's witnesses, but they are also chayiv to pay money to. They're also chayiv to pay money to the husband because by proving the husband wrong, allegedly, they were going to be chayiv him to pay 100 selas to the father-in-law, but now they turn out to be liars, so they have to pay the husband that money. Oh, I don't think I got confused, but that was tricky. Okay. Right. Yeah, that's correct. I think I got that right. Wow, that tripped up my brain a bit. Did you guys get that? I hope so. That was a little tricky. Lots of layers of Edom Zomim. You have to remember, who's chayiv what at what stage and what we're doing to the person. And wow. Now we get up to Palkin and Dibur. I think this part is a little bit easier. V'amar Rav Yosef, says Rav Yosef, Ploni rivo le'onso hu v'achim starfin lo'argo. Interesting. So if Shimon was, Ruvain, Shimon was Ruvained by Ruvain. Ruvain had bia with Shimon, and so if it was against Shimon's will, Shimon can testify together with Levi against Ruvain, and then Ruvain will be killed, right? So again, from Rav Yosef says Rav Yosef, Ploni Revo Le'onso, if Shimon says that Ruvain had bia with him against his will, against Shimon's will, Hu ve'acher, Shimon and Levi, mitzdarfin lo'argo, could join together to kill Ruvain for doing that. L'rtzono, but what if Shimon it was not against his will. He was willful. He participated. And then Shimon joins together with Levi to testify against Reuven. So now, what happens? Because on the one hand, he's incriminating himself, because, it was willing. So he's incriminating himself. So that's the question. So Rashu, Vatorah Amar al Toshis Rasha 8. So it says of Yosef, well, in that case, Shimon is a Rasha, right, for allowing Reuven to be with him. So Shimon is a Rasha. Therefore, as a Rasha can't be a witness, and therefore he cannot testify against Reuven. Shimon can't testify against Reuven because he participated. Rava Amar, whereas Rava says, Palgina, right, he says that we basically split up his statement. That look, Shimon is a relative of himself. and therefore he can't incriminate himself, because he can't testify against himself. He's related to himself. So he can't incriminate himself. So the only reason why we would know that Shimon is a rasha for participating in this bia with Ruvain is because of his own testimony, but he can't incriminate himself. He can't incriminate himself. So therefore we got nothing, against Shimon. But the testimony is believed against Ruvain. So that's Palgina Dibura. We split up his testimony, right? On the one hand, we trust it to an extent. We trust it with regard to Ruvain. We do not trust it with regard to himself. Amar Rava, similarly says Rava, Ploni Baal Ishti. If, let's just say Shimon testifies together with Levi that Ruvain slept with Shimon's wife. So now, so he's incriminating his wife also. Right, so Ploni Baal Ishti, if Shimon says that Ruvain slept with his wife, Huva Acher, Shimon and Levi, Mitzdarfin Largo, they could join together to testify against Ruvain, to kill Ruvain, Avalolo Argo. But the testimony would not be applied to his wife. My Komaj Malon, the Mefalginon Bidibura, but what's Gomar asks, okay, so what are we teaching? Palgina Dibura? Is Rava coming to teach us Palgina Dibura? Hanu Haf. We learned Palgina Dibura from Ploni Ruvao Letzono. So Ma'adutem, I may have thought, Adam Karv Eitzel Atzmo Amrinan. Well, I may have thought to say, look, in the first case of Ploni Ruvao Letzono, he's literally testifying against himself. So maybe that's where we say, Adam Karv Eitzel Atzmo Ve'ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha. Aval Ishto Lo Amrinan. Maybe by his wife, we would say, as Tosfos Taka points out, right? We would say, Migo de Mehem Lorgo, that since we believe him to kill Ruvain, so maybe he's believed to kill his wife as well. Kamash Malan, that no, he's not believed against his wife, and therefore we would say Palgina Dibura, and we would say the testimony works to incriminate Ruvain, but not to incriminate Shimon's wife. Amar Rava, says Rava, Ploni Baal Naira Ma'orasa Vehuzmu. So you have witnesses who testify that you have witnesses who testify that Ruvain slept with the Naira Marasa. Now they don't say who the Naira Marasa is. They just say Ruvain slept with the Naira Marasa, and they're testifying against him. They become Edom Zomim. So they were going to get him killed, right? Because sleeping with the Naira Marasa is skila. So Nerogin, they are killed. They mishaman mamun, but they don't pay any mamun, right? What's the potential mamun? The mamun would be potentially to the girl's father for the loss of the ksuba. But they didn't testify against who the girl was, they only testified against him. So therefore there's no mammon. Bito shoploni vuzmu, but if they testified that Reuven slept with the daughter of so-and-so, who was an Naira Marasa, well then, Nerogin Mishaman Mamun, then they are killed and they pay money, they are killed, right? Mamun lazeh. So they're killed because they tried to kill Ruvain as well as the Naira Marasa, and they have to pay money to the father of the girl, because since she's a Naira, so the money would go to the father. Okay. Vama Rava, says Rava, Ploni Rava Hashor Vehuzmu, that says Rava, if they testify that so and so had bia with an ox, they became Edom Zom, so they were going to kill him. So we kill them. There's no money to be paid because they didn't testify about whose ox it is. So there's no ox that's being killed. They don't pay anybody anything. Right, or at the very least, we don't know who it belongs to. But if they testify that Reuven had bia with Shimon's ox, well then they are killed for killing Reuven, but they also have to pay money to Shimon because we're going to kill Shimon's ox, so he loses his ox. So Mammon Lazeh, so they pay money to Shimon for the ox that they caused to be killed, and as well as they are killed because they were going to kill Reuven. Isn't this the same case as the Naira Marasa? So Mishum de Kabay Baya Ilave, well, because we ask another question on the situation of having beer with an animal, which is Debai Rava Ploni Rava Shorimau. What if Shimon testifies, together with Levi, that Reuven had bia with my ox? So mi amin adam karev etzel atzmo ve'ein adam karev etzel mamono. Do we say, look, a person is considered related to himself, so we don't trust him about himself, but his money is a different story, and therefore we would trust Shimon's testimony not only against Reuven, but also against his own ox? Or maybe we say that no, just like Adam karev etzel atzmo, he's also karev etzel mamono. We don't trust the testimony with regard to his shore, but we do trust the testimony with regard to Reuven. So the Baya, other Pashta, and then after asking the question, it was answered, Adam karev etzel atzmo, ve'ein Adam karev etzel mamono. A person is considered related to himself, but not considered related to his money, and therefore his testimony, Shimon's testimony against Reuven, as well as his own ox, would apply to both of them, and both Reuven and the ox would be killed. That was technically tests of Masechta Sanhedrin. I would say the main kind of interesting sugya there was the concept of Palgina Dibura, as well as Adam karev etzel atzmo ve'ein Adam mesim atzmo rasha. We said that applies to one's wife as well, but it does not apply to his property. Peace out.